Hi, I'm Dr. Clifton Clarke, and I'm so excited about our Easter 2022. We're going to have a fantastic time. Our theme for this year is Jesus is alive. Yes, Jesus is alive. It's going to start on Easter Friday on the 15th of April, where we're going to celebrate and commemorate the crucifixion. Then we're going to have the Easter Saturday. A number of activities are going to take place on Easter Saturday. And then we're going to culminate on Easter Sunday on April the 17th with a massive, powerful, incredible, colorful celebration. We're looking forward to having you there. Over the past 2 years, the world has faced a global pandemic. It has had a devastating impact on all of us. Most reviewed studies report negative psychological effects, including post-traumatic stress symptoms, confusion, anger. Stressors include long quarantine durations, infection fears, frustration, boredom, inadequate supplies, inadequate information, financial loss, and stigma. The COVID-19 pandemic has led to a dramatic loss of life worldwide and presents an unprecedented challenge to public health, food systems, and world of work. The economic and social disruption caused by the pandemic is devastating. Tens of millions of people have been at risk of falling into extreme poverty, while the number of unnourished people continue, and they are estimated at nearly 690 million so far. Reports are telling us that it could increase to 132 million by the end of this year. Millions of enterprises face existential threat. Nearly half of the world's 3.3 billion global workforce are at risk of losing their livelihood. Informal economy workers are particularly vulnerable because of the majority lack social protection and access to quality health care and have lost access to productive assets. Without the means to earn an income during a lockdown, many were and continue to be unable to feed themselves and their families. For most, no income means no food, or at best, less food and less nutritious food. The pandemic has been affecting the entire food system and has laid bare its fragility. Border closures, trade restrictions, and confinement measures have been preventing farmers from accessing markets, including for buying inputs and selling their products, and agricultural workers from harvesting crops, thus disrupting domestic and international food supply chains and reducing access to healthy, safe, and diverse diets. These are all the things that we have faced. The pandemic has decimated jobs and placed millions of livelihoods at risk. As breadwinners lose jobs, fall ill, and die, the food security and nutrition of millions of women and men are under threat. With those in low-income countries, particularly the most marginalized populations, which include small-scale farmers and indigenous populations, being hardest hit. Millions of agricultural workers, waged and self-employed, while feeding the world, regularly face high levels of working poverty, malnutrition, and poor health, and suffer from lack of safety and labor protection, as well as experience many abuse. With low and irregular income and lack of social support, many of them are spurred to continue working often in unsafe conditions, thus exposing themselves and their families to additional risk. Further, when experiencing income loss, they may resort to negative coping strategies such as distressed sales of assets, predatory loans, or child labor. Migrant agricultural workers are particularly vulnerable because they face risk in their transport, working and living conditions, and struggle to access support measures put in place by government, guaranteeing the safety and health of all food workers, from primary producers to those involved in food processing, transport, and retail. I could go on and on with these negative impact, but it's not all bad. In the midst of this global crisis, we've seen some great testimonies and heard some great stories. People have shown their resistance and also showed their resiliency in bringing communities together. We've seen people work together, struggle together. We've seen communities come together, forgetting about their differences and working as one unit. And so over the past 2 years, it's been challenging. And so the theme for this year that we've chosen is Jesus is alive, because we know that during this pandemic, as we continue, there have been great testimonies and great stories of how Jesus has made a difference, not just in America, but all across the world. And on Easter Sunday, we're going to have and culminate our service with a fantastic, colorful, cheerful, exciting celebration. And we want you to be there. So come out, join us at New Beginnings Church as we put the pandemic behind us and look forward to a resurrection service that would lead to not only a resurrection service, but a new lease of life as we look forward to continuing celebrating Christ in our everyday lives. Now remember, it's going to be Easter Friday on April the 15th, Easter Saturday, April the 16th, and we're going to culminate on Easter Sunday with our resurrection service and our celebration. We're going to have a choir, we're going to have dancing, we're going to have worship, and I'm going to bring a special word that's going to bless your life. God bless you, and see you there.